We are up and running to the All-In Advisor Access podcast. I'm your host, Blair Barton, Senior Financial Advisor and CEO of Auxiliary I&I Financial Services. And as always, we're joined today by Aidan, Century 21 Heritage. Welcome in, my friend.
What's happening, Blair? How you doing?
I'm awesome. Even better that we'll be joined as well by our digital marketing specialist, Aidan Tate. Aidan, how you doing, man?
Doing great as well, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah, you were the first one here and the last one introduced. That doesn't seem fair. I wanted to leave you hanging there.
No, it's fine. It's save the best things for last, right?
That's how I thought about it, personally. personally. Okay, great. Well, I want to get into some stuff. We didn't have you on, Eddie, last week, and there's so much going on in the market, in the real estate market right now. It's the kind of thing that everything's just changing so quickly. We need to kind of, weekly, bi-weekly update on what's happening. So what's going on in the market?
Yeah, and sorry, just because the market's so crazy, I wasn't able to join you for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, we're definitely, before I get into the numbers, just synapses, we're definitely one of the hottest markets that I've personally seen, if not the hottest market that I've seen. And I know that's something I said to you guys a couple of months ago on the podcast, but it's just getting hotter and hotter progressively, breaking records every single month, right? Right now, you're seeing a huge demand. So high number of buyers, right? Pretty much everything in every segment of the market is going into a bidding war one way or another, a multiple offer scenario, right? So it's very, very hot. Inventory, so houses for sale, is starting to come up, so that's good. More people are putting the house up for sale, which is going to hopefully alleviate this multiple offer scenario for a little bit, but it's still a very hot market. So as far as numbers go, February this year, we had a number of 10,970 sales. So that's up 52.5% year over year compared to last February. So last February, we did about 7,100 sales. And I want to put something into perspective. Last February was huge. It was a great month. 2020 in February was one of the hottest months I've seen. And in this month, we beat it by 50%. So number of sales is crazy. Average price now in the GTA is $1,045,000. So I want you guys, I'm pausing because I want you guys to think about that. $1,045,000 is your average sale price in the GTA. Okay, this is not only Toronto, this is in the GTA, right? Durham region, Halton, Peel. So pricing is very expensive, right? It's up actually, to be exact, up 15% year over year from last February. So pricing is super high. Number of sales are super high. We're getting into the spring market. I am seeing week over week more listings coming up. So I don't think that it's going to keep on doing this, which has been doing pretty much since last year. It's been spiking so much. I think we're going to see more gradual growth. I'm hoping, because I think the pace that we're going at right now is completely unsustainable. All in all, it's a great time. If you're selling your house, you're still getting top price. And if you're buying, the reason why a lot of people are buying, interest rates are really, really low. And home ownership is still somewhat affordable. So it's a good time to make a move.
And I just have a bit of a question. So like, as a prospective home buyer, right, you obviously see your listing price, but what really is a bidding war, and how commonplace are they, especially in today's market?
Extremely commonplace, right? And it's something funny in the sense that the pricing, let's say if you're looking at your home buyer, you're looking on realtor.ca. That's a place to be looking at. You get all the listings from every company. There's no need to be anywhere else, right? So you go to realtor.ca and you see a house listed, for example, for 500. Depending on the area, you can safely expect for that house to sell 100,000 over asking, 150,000 over asking, 200 over asking. And that's because there's usually a multiple offer scenario. So the way it really works is, for example, let's say, Aidan, you're selling your house and you call me up and you say, listen, I want to put it up for sale, right? The tactic that I would say 90% of brokers are using right now is that they'll say, okay, Aidan, let's say your house is worth hypothetically $600,000, right? Let's list it for 500. Okay, let's put a lower price. And let's hold on offers. So let's not accept any offers for a week. Let's let everyone who has to see the house see it. And on a certain date, a week from now, we're going to get all those offers together, competing against each other to raise the price. It's called a multiple offer scenario. And that has become the norm of doing business now. right? Whether it's the right way to do it or not, that's the way it's done. And it can be confusing for buyers because first of all, you're in a multiple offer scenario. You're not negotiating one-on-one with the seller. You're now competing with like 10, 12 other different buyers that want the house. So that's number one. Number two, the offers are blind. So you have one offer out of 12. You don't know what the other 11 offers are, right? All you know as a home buyer is how many offers you're competing with, but you have no way of knowing legally how much the other party's offering. So you're basically bidding blindly. And that's the main area of concern, right? That you don't know how much to really offer, right? So it's important to have a good agent that guides you through all of this, right? Because that's a common place of doing business. And how common it is, I would say probably 90, 95%. And one side note that I want to talk about that a lot of people feel like, well, it's the agents that want to do this, right? I mean, there's really no advantage to us as agents to have this as a listing agent. It just has become such a popular practice that I told you, let's say your house is worth 600,000. I have to list it for 500 because people are already thinking, well, it's going to go 100 over. So if I list it for 600, they're going to think that you want 700 for it, and they might not even come see it because they might say, well, it's too high. It's going to go way over, and it's not in my price range. I don't like it for 700. So it's kind of a catch-22. You're damn if you do, and you're damn if you don't.
Well, yeah, that's you know, I can speak from experience because I actually just bought a property from you 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But the offering
Congratulations. I wasn't gonna share it, but congrats, man. Now being said, you did really well, and it was stressful, wasn't it?
I mean, hey, I'm in a stressful business. You know, I wasn't stressed out, but I mean, just because we do a lot of this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's not, I could see definitely from people that are making this their first purchase and, you know, they want to get into the market. It can be very stressful. And, you know, for us, it was just, you know, what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? Because that's the way, you know, people like you and me were wired, right? Rather than stress per se, this is, you know, how do we get it done? But yeah, it's extremely competitive out there. You know, we're happy to get a great investment property in Peel region. You know, think there's lots of potential what's already in there. Going to make some renovations pretty much right away before moving in, and yeah, sit on it for a couple of years, rent it out for a couple of years, and then sell it when it's nice and right. But let's get into a little bit about how we won the bidding war, or how to win a bidding war in general.
Yeah. So number one thing that I always tell people is just education, right? If you remember, when you wanted to buy, I sat you and your wife down and I forced you into a Zoom meeting. You didn't want to partake in this. All people want is they got their pre-approval ready and now they want to go see houses, right? That's the losing way to do it. You're going to lose for sure, right? So you need to be really, really educated. So to move things forward, first of all, you need to have a budget that's given by the bank. So I told you can qualify for X amount, and now we're working within that range. But rather than going to see houses or just looking on MLS, what I do, and you know this very well, is I actually do a presentation and I show you, hey, listen, this is what's been selling in your price point. So now you can kind of see, well, this house was listed for 500 and it sold for 700. And this is exactly what I like. So you're starting to get an idea, well, even though it might be listed for 5, I'm going to be paying 7. So you're getting educated on the market, right? So the first key thing that you have to do is to be really, really educated. So you're not wasting time, right? I tell everyone the listing price in this market doesn't matter. What matters is market value. And properties will still sell for market value. Properties will sell for what their neighbors have been selling for, right? So the first thing that you do is you get a good education, and you know, well, if you know house A, house B, house C, all very similar to the one I like, have been selling for 700. So my offer should be in or around 700, right? Even though it's listed for 500, the owner's not going to sell it for $200,000 less than his neighbor. Why would he? Right? So now you know the expectation. So once you have that expectation and you know what market value is, if it's within your budget, you can feel confident adapting and maybe being more aggressive depending on the number of offers and the conditions. But first of all, you have to be very well educated. If not, you're going to waste time. And I see it a lot. A lot of buyers get pre-approved. They go out and look at homes and they put like 10, 20 offers and they don't buy a house. That's the only person at fault for that is the buyer for not being educated, and the agent, their agent, assuming they have one, for not educating them. There's no excuse for this, right? Like if you should be, when you're bidding on a home, you should have a high level of confidence that you're going to be at least competitive or close to getting the house, right? You can always get beat out. There's always some appraiser that can just pump a lot more money than what it's worth just to get it. but you should be in the ballpark always.
Yeah, and I guess one of the dangers of not being educated on the process is going to be, you could miss out on some really good stuff. So if you don't make the right offer at the right time, you could, and that for whatever reason that's just not going to be the house for you. At the end of the day, if you don't do it right, it could prolong the process, and you miss out on a few great properties that and because they're going quick. Like I remember we get listings from you and look at it, and if I didn't get to it by the afternoon, some of those houses, if we talked in the early evening within the same day, a lot of those properties were gone already. So you're right. Like it's about so when we got to those stages of okay, we're ready to make a deal, we were ready because we were armed with information, and I always like to use that because information is a tool, it's a strength. It gets you where you need to go. The more you know about something, the better you're going to do with it, right? And that's just obviously common sense. But yeah, great stuff. Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah, 1,000%, right? Like you have to do your homework, and it might suck sometimes, right? Nobody wants to be looking at sold data and stuff like that, but you have to do your homework. You have to have your agent, explain to you what's happening so you can jump at the opportunity, right? And you don't get frustrated if you're like, because the market's so crazy and people are doing random whack things with their listings. If you're looking at listings that, let's say your budget is 800,000 and you're looking at listings that are listed for 750, well, the likelihood of those houses selling for 900,000 is huge, right? So maybe you shouldn't be looking at listings and houses that are listed for 750. You should be looking at houses that are listed for 650. So you have that room to jump, and you won't know that. It's not common sense. It's not intuition, right? Because we buy based on what we see listed. Like when you go to a car dealership and you see an Audi for 50,000, you're not thinking, well, I'm going to pay 70 for it, right? You think, well, it's 50,000. I might get it for 49.5 or 49,000, right? But in real estate, it's backwards. So you have to have somebody that helps you rewire this for the time being in order for you to adapt. And as I said, information is powerful. The more that you know, the better you're going to do.
It's interesting when you put it like that. It's exactly backwards.
Yeah.
You're looking, you want to get a deal, you're gonna ask for less.
Yeah.
If you want a deal in the real estate market, you got to ask for more.
Yeah. So anyways, market's pretty active. You guys have any questions, always reach out. I'll be more than happy to answer them for here. But I want to talk a little bit about what you've been up to, man. Besides buying houses and putting in offers left, right, and center, what's new with the business, man? What's happening with Auxiliary I&I?
Well, a lot, so much. I mean, we're changing every single day. We meet. I'm pretty proud of my team. We're tireless workers, just looking to improve, our business, our partnerships. How easy things are. One thing we're really working on right now is trying to reach the right people that are going to be looking for like a full comprehensive unit, which is what we do. We do just about everything. We do it all in-house, and what we're working on is being able to appeal to such a wide spectrum of people, right? We want people that want to feel comfortable working with us, no matter how they're, what their comfort level is, and whether they want to do it self-directed. So we have options for most things on our site that people can go get a free, no obligation quote and see kind of where they stand with stuff. So whether you want to get, the quote self-directed, do it yourself, or you want full service, we offer all that. And we're just trying to, let as many people know about that as possible. So that's our focus, is just to be, simple, easy, top in-class advice that's in the industry right now. And I really believe that we're there. And, given with our specialist teams and our administrative side, and of course with Aidan and the digital marketing side, as those teams continue to grow, we're just getting more and more great content out there, more like better systems in place. So far, our systems that we have in place are better than anywhere I've ever worked or interviewed at, and I've worked at some of the some high-end firms, and I've worked, I've interviewed at just about every place, before I landed with Oxy here. So yeah, it's just functionality, simplicity, and making sure that we're able to help everybody with whatever it is that they need.
And what's your, I know you guys offer wide products, a wide array of services, but what's your focus? What's your specialty? Like, what if you had to boil it down, what do you do?
So what we try to do is we try to make sure that we're a client-centric firm, right? So I mean, financial stuff, insurance stuff, group benefits, whatever it is, estate planning. We do it all, but so that doesn't need to be said when you go with the financial services firm. Most do that kind of stuff. But what we try to do that's different from, our competitors, if I can say that we have any, because I don't believe that we do,
Right.
is that we are a full client-centric approach, and that's we work on the experience that the client has, and that's our sole focus. We're not one of these companies that you see out there that are just looking to recruit. I was in that environment for a hot minute, and it wasn't pleasant. You want to make sure that people come first before recruiting. It's you build your business out after you give them the top of the line experience, and that's what we've done here. And our team continues to grow at a very professional rate. And I say professional rate because we're only bringing on people that are going to make a difference to the clients that we bring on, because that's our only focus. As much as there's so much stuff for us to do on a day in and day out business, like it seems like we have a million different focuses, but it's all for one reason, that our clients get the best experience in the industry. And we have that now, and we're going to continue to make it even better.
Yeah, and you know what, as a client of yours for many years, I've seen you involved in the industry, and definitely what I like about you and your company is that you guys work very hard. I feel you've always taken care of me. You put me first, you put my investments first, and you put my insurance needs first. So it speaks volumes of you in an industry where sometimes people will give you wrong information, just to make a sale. It feels that you're always there guiding and taking that extra care for your clients. And that's why I feel so confident when somebody asks me for financial advice or for insurance purposes, just to pass your name, because I know you're going to take really good care of them. And that's how you're building your business exponentially, and you're able to bring the right people. And talking about people, just one final question I have for you. What are you doing to attract like-minded people, like as you said, that want to grow and provide good customer experience? How are you recruiting? How are you getting?
I think that would be that's Aidan's department, and I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. As for the ins and outs of that, I think he'd be best suited to answer that question.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, it all kind of starts from, I know Blair touched on this. The main thing is getting in front of families and also professionals and individuals that, again, want to make a difference, and we want to offer them better solutions. So on the client side, it's more about, letting them know that there's a firm out there that actually cares and truly cares about their needs and their priorities, and can offer them that unique value, as you mentioned, not just selling them something to make a sale, right? And on part of recruiting, I believe Blair answered that really well by saying, we are trying to find people who want to make a difference and put the clients first. And that's why we are growing at a professional rate, as you mentioned, which is a great way to describe it. So through the capacity of getting it out in front of clients and in front of, families and everything, it really does start with our website, right? That all of our information is on there for our offerings. It's super easy to book a free meeting with us, and we can answer all the questions you have through that process. The main way we really, reach out to people and, grow our base is through social medias, right? So Facebook, Instagram being the main two. We're also pretty active on LinkedIn. We're, again, the professional kind of realm there. We post obviously a lot of educational material, be it, tips for finance or, some initiatives that we have that are really, industry leading and can really make a difference in people's lives, especially, given the circumstances we're in. And our podcast as well, right? Where we talk about a lot of stuff is we post pretty much weekly. Again, through the social medias, it's just really providing some deeper insight to, you don't have to go into a bank and speak with a financial advisor to figure out how you can do something that'll change your life, right? We're going to put it right in front of you.
Correct. Yeah, you guys are doing a fantastic job. And you, Aidan, commend you with social media. You're doing a great job. I see your posts. They're informative. They're attractive. I mean, it's everything that you want to have. So I see it really, really picking up, and your website's fantastic. So you guys are doing a great job, and I commend you for it. I know a lot of big things are coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And a bit more, we have some announcements to make in April we're really excited about. Can't say anything just yet, but things are about to go up another notch, which we're getting a lot of recognition. I have a lot of people reach out to us on a daily basis, how impressed they are, and what's your secret. And what's the secret is we have professionals on our staff. That's it. We have people that just want to make the client experience easier, and that's the only people that we're attracting, right? That's the only people that we want to bring in here. When you, and again, just to touch on how that separates us from a lot of different firms is, if you want to call them firms, the recruiting machines, they're not looking to increase the client experience. They're looking to increase their, how many people that they have working underneath them in order to pump up their bottom line. And that really waters down the client experience. And, if you want to talk about, how fast a company is growing by numbers of people that they put into a profession, that's really the wrong way to look at it. It has to be, you have to bring on professionals. You can't bring on people from other industries and expect them to, right off the get-go, treat a client exactly the way they should. And with us, having all the specialist teams and the administrative department and everything like that, everything goes through the proper channels in order to give the client that. You're not getting a watered down advisor, which these recruiting machines are doing. It's it's pretty much a client-centric approach, or you're a recruiting machine, and that's what separates us, and that's why people are commending us for the job that we're doing, and that's why we're going to keep striving to make Oxy the place to go.
Yeah, and I see that all the time, right? Because companies have different metrics for success, right? I feel good companies have the metric of satisfied customers. That's how I measure my success. Like, are you happy? Or would you tell your family about me? Would you rate your experience as 10? That's success for me, right? Some other companies, like in your case, success would be how many people I was able to recruit. Did I get 10, 15, 20 under my wing? Whatever they do, just pick them off the street or whatever, whether they like finances or not, am I going to be able to recruit them, right? So it's very different. And at the end of the day, it's the client that suffers, right? Because you have places, and it goes all over the place. I mean, being in the industry for 14 years, I've seen all sorts of financial planners and advisors. I've been to banks that the person literally there does not know anything of what they're talking about. They tell something to my client that's completely wrong, and I'm thinking, how can this person be the face of X and X big bank, right? But then on the other hand, you have financial planners at the bank that are fantastic. They're a wealth of knowledge. So you can't judge them by the same, measure them by the same stick. But that being said, it's incredible how many unprepared people they are out there giving you advice. And it's so important to find the person that you can trust and that you can connect with, and that will give you right advice. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I've known you for a long time, but you measure your success on repeat and referral, on how happy people are with you and how well they'll speak of your company. You don't really care if, having 100 advisors that are not doing anything. You'd rather have, 100 happy customers that are raving and fans of you, and they'll be your clients for life.
Yeah, exactly. I would rather one great advisor that is looking after the client needs than have 100 advisors hustling to meet, to bring on another 100 advisors, right? To me, it's actually what has given the financial industry a bad name. And it's unfortunately there's no end in sight for it. But I mean, people can see these things coming now. You can always tell. You get, it's very easy to weed out, who the companies are, because you get all the same employees sending you all the same scripts at the same time. And it's kind of funny, and it is the embarrassment of the financial industry. And again, that's the key to our success, and people just find it refreshing that we're just looking after the client, and that's our only objective.
But that's life, man. In every like, how many times you hear about the shady realtors, right? Or realtors don't know what they're doing. We have that. I'm always somebody that I believe that 80% of the agents that are out there are really good and they mean really well. Like, for sure. The difference in some is that they might not have the tools to do a better job than somebody else, but they mean well. They're not going to screw you over. They're professional. They're not trying to take advantage of you. But the stereotype of the industry is like, insurance salespeople in general, they're just trying to, make a quick buck and do whatever they have to do to make a commission. In my industry, at least, I can attest that probably 80 to 90% of them mean really well. Sometimes they take the wrong actions in meaning well, right? Like I see, for example, when you were looking at homes, I see homes that are so nice, but they're so poorly marketed. Like the pictures were taken with like an iPhone, just backwards and stuff like that. There's no information on the house. And I mean, the guy might be a great agent. He might be a good person. He might mean well for his clients, but is he really doing his best? Because I think he's providing a disservice. If the house is better marketed, they might be able to get more money for the house. So it's, I feel the reputation of the industry in general, all sales industries can be lifted up a lot by just ensuring proper practices, for everyone in the profession. But that's a topic for discussion, another one. Thank you so much for having me. Like, I really, really appreciated it. Congratulations on your home. You did really, really well. I'm super happy for you and your wife. I think it's going to be a nice home for you. A couple of years, it'll be a nice rental property because I know you're going to be on to bigger and better things for sure. But this is a nice place. So really, really happy. And thanks for having me on the podcast again. Look forward to being extremely swamped, but still making it every Thursday morning for you.
Yeah, I look forward to having you on next week. And, thanks, Aidan, for taking time. Aidan's probably the busiest guy in our company. And really appreciate him taking some time. I know if we were to flash over to him right now, he's actually probably working during this whole thing. Yeah,
you're not, hey, man, you're not wrong. That's all I gotta say.
So I even had to do some of that.
Definitely blessed to have definitely blessed for my team and Aidan and to have a real estate agent like yourself and
thanks,
very
man.
thankful to have you both on the podcast today, and I look forward to seeing you both next week on Thursday at 6 p.m.